Hey, stream is alive. Give me 2 seconds to go to the bathroom while I wait for people to come and be here. Okay. I'm so disorganized today. Okay. Okay, I am back and alive. Just gotta finish setting a couple of things up because I am not a professional. Ah! Hello! Okay. Hello, Romeo Digital Roots. Okay. So, couple of things. I don't know if you're caught up on the VODs, but this case got fucking crazy. Like, this case got absolutely fucking nuts. Knuckin' futs, if you will. So, yeah, that's you. Okay. I'm gonna just get in and we'll, I'm gonna use the evidence that we have to explain things. December 28th, 9:51 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. This is it. Judgment Day. Okay. So. Okay. So, basically, Edgeworth and the other guy, they're on a boat together out on this lake, okay? Oh, fuck. No, they're out on a boat together on this lake, okay? And they are within view of this car. And a woman named Lotta Hart witnesses that there is a boat out there, okay? But she doesn't really see shit, actually, when it comes to who shot who or what time things got shot. Do we know why Edgeman was there in the first place? Yes, okay, so... okay, so we found out a whole bunch of stuff about the DL6 incident. Okay? So the DL6 incident actually involved Edgeworth and Edgeworth's father and a guy named Yanni Yogi, okay? So they were coming out of the courtroom and Edgeworth's father was facing Manfred von Karma in court. So Manfred von Karma was the prosecuting attorney on December 28th, 2001. So apparently this takes place in 2016, which is wild because, like, people were talking about digital cameras like they were new. But anyway, so this takes place in 2016. So 15 years ago. And the statute of limitations in this game is 15 years. So, what happened was, Gregory Edgeworth and a 9-year-old Miles Edgeworth, which is our boy Edgy, were coming out of court. Gregory Edgeworth had lost the case against von Karma, but he had proven that von Karma had forged some evidence, which is the only penalty, the only black mark that von Karma has ever received in his entire career. And von Karma is a perfectionist, and so he held this against Gregory Edgeworth, and therefore against Edgeworth, for the rest of time, basically. So, Gregory Edgeworth and Miles Edgeworth and a bailiff for the court named Yanni Yogi all get into an elevator at the district courthouse, and then there's an earthquake, which actually ends up destroying one of the courtrooms at the courthouse. That's how severe it was. But the elevator gets stuck. And so these 3 people are trapped in the elevator for 5 hours, and air is continually being depleted. Yes, that's why he has a reaction to earthquakes. So, Gregory Edgeworth, Miles Edgeworth, and Yanni Yogi were trapped in the elevator. When people finally got the elevator doors open, Gregory Edgeworth was found dead. There were 2 bullet holes. There was a bullet in Gregory Edgeworth's heart and a bullet hole in the glass of the elevator. Okay? And so, the air was depleted in the elevator so badly that, when they got it open, both Yanni Yogi and Miles Edgeworth were passed out. And because of this oxygen deprivation, Yanni Yogi suffered memory loss due to the oxygen deprivation. Oh, I didn't know that after his arrest, his fiancée Polly Jenkins committed suicide. Wow, I really should have checked this. I had no idea, because I hadn't actually... Holy shit, that's really important data. Okay, so... We went to... It's okay, hi Nova. Okay, so, after Lotta testified, it turns out the only thing that ended up being relevant from her testimony was that she heard 2 gunshots, okay? And then, surprise, surprise, Larry ended up testifying, but we'll get to that. So, the victim in this case was Robert Hammond, and he was the defense attorney that got Yanni Yogi declared innocent in the DL6 incident. Because, given that Yanni Yogi was the bailiff and therefore had a gun in the elevator with them, and given that Miles couldn't remember anything, Yanni Yogi basically, the police were so stumped as to, like, what actually happened, that this is when they went to Misty Faye, which was Maya and Mia's mother. They went to a spirit medium and had her contact the ghost of Gregory Edgeworth, Miles Edgeworth's father. So, according to Gregory, and when she contacted his ghost said, Yanni Yogi killed me. And so, this is what the police, like, built the case off of. And so, he does look a lot like his dad. So basically, God, this is so complicated. Okay, so Robert Hammond was tasked with defending Yanni Yogi against the murder of Gregory Edgeworth, okay? And Robert Hammond ended up winning that case. But what we found out from Mr. Grossberg, once again, because he's helped out with this, because he knew a lot about DL6, because he's the one who leaked the fact that the police went to Misty for help to the press and ended up, like, ruining her reputation and the reputation of the police. But anyway, so Robert Hammond he never actually cared much about, like, the defendant when he would defend people. He was more in it for winning cases than proving people innocent, if that makes sense. And so he never really trusted his defendants, and, like, what he went for was an insanity plea, for Yanni Yogi. Like, he was like, he had him declared, like, temporary insanity. Happy gender! But... Happy T-Shot! Yay! So... because he got Yanni Yogi declared, like, temporarily insane, Yanni Yogi's life was, like, pretty much ruined. And also, he had really bad memory loss anyway. So, Yanni Yogi just kind of disappeared. So, also, when, after Lotta Hart's, I almost said testification. That's not the word. Testimony. There we go. Okay. When Lotta Hart's testimony was for the most part dismissed, the prosecution had to go back to their other witness that they had. So their other witness was the guy who ran the boat rental shop, if you remember, the one on the lake. It's that little building by the boats. And, you know, it was so abandoned looking that Phoenix and Mayo were like, oh, it must just be closed while they wait for this whole murder thing to die down. But no, he was there the whole time. And then we go to talk to him, and he's like, got crazy memory loss. Yeah, eventually we found out he was Yanni Yogi. But, like, oh, that was only after he ended up coming to court to testify and saying, oh yeah, I saw, I heard the 2 gunshots too, and I saw, the boat come back to the shore and the docks, and I heard that Edgeworth boy walk past my window muttering, I can't believe he's dead. And yeah, so what we figured out, because all hope seemed lost, and then boom, Larry, it turns out the whole Gordy thing, the whole, like, Loch Ness Monster type thing that was happening, that was actually bullshit. It was Larry the whole time. Not that Larry was in the lake pretending to be Gordy, but, Larry had a big inflatable steel samurai. I know! So, down at that stand down there, Larry runs that hot dog stand, the one that says, like, samurai dogs. So, Larry had a big inflatable steel samurai, but the air compressor that he usually used to fill up the air in the inflatable steel samurai was broken. So, he accidentally legit became like a fucking Scooby-Doo villain, you're right. So the air compressor was broken, so he got like a high pressure air tank and tried to use that to fill up the inflatable, and like the valve busted, and that was the loud bang that was originally heard when people got a picture of Gordy. So it turns out that Lotta Hart wasn't at the lake trying to take pictures of a meteor shower. She was at the lake trying to take pictures of Gordy. And the reason she had her camera set up to take pictures at a loud noise like that was because of Larry's air pressure tank, like, making a big explosion noise when he originally set it off, because when the valve, like... Thank you, I appreciate it, I'm really trying my best. I want you to have, like, some experience, or some, like, context for the twists and turns that are gonna happen today, because we've been through a lot of twists and fucking turns here already. And there's gonna be even more at this trial. Also, sorry to say, you guys missed Almost Christmas Means It Wasn't Christmas. But I'm getting to explaining the context behind Almost Christmas Means It Wasn't Christmas. Okay, so when the valve on the... I know! I was like, God, I can't believe Nova and Romeo aren't here for this. But hey, if you want, you can watch the VODs. They're up on my second channel. I posted a link on my Blue Sky and in the Discord to the playlist that has all the VODs. But yeah, so okay, so the valve, when it, like, whoopsh, and, like, made that big noise, it also took the Steel Samurai inflatable with it out into the lake, and that's what was Gordy. It was, like, the exact moment that the inflatable was, like, flying into the lake. And so, Larry was out there every night after people were gone, looking for the inflatable, because he's like, my new girlfriend Kiance bought it, and I had to find it again, because he's dating another model. So, okay, okay, I'm like, okay, so, he was out there on the lake the night of the murder, but not when Edgeworth and Hammond were out on the lake, because that picture that Lotta took of them, give me 2 seconds, I'm texting my sister that I'm live, and I'm telling her that this is the case where we cross-examine a parrot, because I think that, as a lawyer, she will want to be here for this. Okay. So. Okay. Where was I? So Larry was out there on the lake, and all hope seemed lost in the trial. Edgeworth got declared guilty. And then Larry bursts out from where he's watching and is like, hey, no, I just remembered I'm a witness. I was there. I heard one of the gunshots. I heard one of the loud bangs. And so, he's on the stand. He's an absolute fucking idiot with all the love in my heart. Let's go, boy juice injected into veins. Let's go. Okay, so Larry was out there. He was looking for the Steel Samurai, and he ended up finding it. And at around 11:50, he had already found it. So around 11:50, he brings his boat back to the dock place, because he wasn't actually paying to rent the boat. He just kind of hopped in and went looking every night for 4 days. So he comes back to the boat rental place at about 11:50, and he is listening to the radio because it's Christmas Eve. 11:50 on Christmas Eve. Okay? And he has headphones on, listening to the radio, and as he's going by, as he's near the boat rental shop, the radio DJ says something about how, like, it's almost Christmas. And that's exactly when he hears one of the gunshots. Okay? So, this is one of the pictures that was taken by Lotta's automatic camera. It was taken automatically at 12:15 on Christmas Day. But Lotta had another picture, and it was a picture of the lake, but empty, no boat on it, okay? And the gun was fired 3 times. The gun was fired 3 times, and Lotta remembers it being fired twice. Larry remembers hearing it be fired once, okay? And that's when it was almost Christmas. The DJ said it was almost Christmas right as Larry heard the gunshot from near the boat rental place. And so, one of the gunshots happened before midnight, because and so what Phoenix ended up figuring out is that the time of death had to be before midnight, and what he figured out was that the boat shop caretaker, oh, by the way, Polly the parrot was in the boat shop caretaker's little shack, and she said the words, "Don't forget DL6." So we knew that the boat shop caretaker was involved with DL6 somehow, okay? But what Phoenix ended up figuring out, yeah, but I didn't even catch that until I read the report. So I'm glad that I was reading this to you and explaining this to you so that I could have that information too. See, this is the great relationship between streamers and the audience, and also the relationship between us as friends. I'm glad that we're friends, guys. So, the boat shop caretaker turns out was Yanni Yogi, the guy whose life was ruined and whose career was ruined by the DL6 incident, okay? He has really bad memory issues. He couldn't even remember his own name. But he could remember that his life was ruined by Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. Because the fact that Miles couldn't remember is part of what helped Robert Hammond's case in declaring Yanni Yogi to be temporarily insane, and therefore getting him declared innocent. But because Robert Hammond got him declared temporarily insane, it kind of ruined his life, and it ruined his life that he was even a suspect in the murder case. And so Yanni Yogi called Robert Hammond to the boat rental shop, okay? And Yanni Yogi is the one who wrote a letter to Edgeworth telling him to come down to the lake and to get into a boat with him, okay? But Yanni Yogi posed as Robert Hammond. That's why Edgeworth thought it was Robert Hammond in the boat with him, right? But it wasn't. So what happened, what truly happened, is that Yanni Yogi invited Robert Hammond to the boat shop and said, "Hey, motherfucker, guess what? Ba-blam! Killed him on the shore." And he took his coat and posed as Robert Hammond to meet Edgeworth at the boats. Because Edgeworth was only 9 years old, and his memory of the DL6 incident and of the man he was stuck in the elevator with, and the man who ended up getting that guy acquitted, like, his memory of the people involved is fuzzy. So he wouldn't necessarily remember exactly what the real Robert Hammond looked like. So the people on this boat, it was actually Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi. And Yanni Yogi was pretending to be Robert Hammond. And the gun fired 3 times because Yanni Yogi was trying to frame Edgeworth for the murder of Robert Hammond. The plan was he kills Robert Hammond on shore, takes Hammond's coat. Yes, for real, traumagenic conditions causing memory issues. It's so for real. Oh, I have to watch the VODs. These sound so fucking good. That makes me so fucking happy. That makes me so fucking happy that I'm explaining this in a way that actually makes you want to, like, experience the... Yeah. So... Oh my god, I've been explaining this for, like, 20 fucking minutes. Okay, so... So basically... The plan was supposed to go like this. Yanni Yogi calls Robert Hammond to come to the boat shop. Yay! I hope it keeps you company well while you work on homework. So Robert Hammond comes to the boat shop. Yanni Yogi shoots Hammond. Yanni Yogi steals Hammond's coat to pose as Hammond. Yanni Yogi boards the boat with Edgeworth, claiming to be Robert Hammond. They go out onto the lake, and that's when we see that cutscene from the very beginning of this case. Him saying it's been a long time of, like, suffering, and he's like, you've suffered. And then Yanni Yogi fires the gun twice. While wearing gloves, I think. So Yanni Yogi fires the gun 2 times. Once to create a noise and a light so that anybody witnessing... Yeah, the first gunshot was from when he